She stood there with empty hands and an even emptier heart. Have you ever lost so much that praying feels painful? Have you ever cried out and heard nothing back? What do you do when heaven feels silent and justice feels far away? Because this is a story about waiting, about pain, about knocking on a door that refuses to open until it suddenly does. It began with loss, not the kind that fades with time, the kind that changes everything. One day, everything that gave her safety was gone. The voice that defended her, the hands that provided, the future she thought was secure. She became invisible overnight. No husband, no protection, no income. In her world, that meant danger. It meant hunger. It meant being forgotten.
People passed her every day. They saw her clothes. They saw her face, but they did not see her pain. And the one place she believed justice lived felt closed. So she prayed. At first, her prayers were soft, careful, full of hope. God, help me. But days passed. Nothing changed. Weeks passed. Still nothing. Her situation did not improve. Her enemies did not stop. Her fear did not leave. And heaven stayed quiet. She prayed again, longer this time, with tears. God, where are you? But the silence remained. Time has a way of breaking people, especially when pain keeps repeating. She waited and waited and waited, and doubt began to whisper. Maybe God heard her, but chose not to answer. Maybe she was too small, too insignificant. Maybe justice was only for people with power. Have you ever felt that way? Like your prayers hit the ceiling and fall back down? Her faith started to shake. Then one night it all spilled out. She cried until her chest hurt. Her questions became louder than her prayers. Why me, God? Why am I fighting alone? Why do you stay silent when I need you most? This was her breaking point. But something strange happened in the middle of her despair. A thought rose quietly inside her. If no one will speak for me, I will speak for myself. If I am ignored, I will not stop knocking. That's when we meet her by name.
She was a widow, living in a place where widows had no voice, and the man standing between her and justice was an unjust judge, a man who feared neither God nor people. Luke 18:2 tells us that clearly. Every day she went to him. Grant me justice against my adversary. Every day he refused. He dismissed her pain, ignored her tears, turned her away. But she came back, again and again and again. People laughed at her persistence. Some told her to stop embarrassing herself. But she refused to quit. Why? Because waiting on God does not always look quiet. Sometimes it looks persistence. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. Still nothing. Until one moment changed everything. The judge finally spoke to himself. Luke 18:4-5 says, "Though I neither fear God nor respect people, yet because this widow keeps bothering me, I will give her justice, so that she will not beat me down by her continual coming." And just like that, the door opened. The same man who ignored her now granted her justice. The same system that failed her now worked in her favor. It happened suddenly, unexpectedly, quietly. But heaven had been watching the whole time. Jesus himself told this story to show one powerful truth. God is not like that unjust judge. If persistence moved an unjust man, how much more will it move a loving God? Luke 18:7 says, "And will not God give justice to his elect, who cry to him day and night?" Here is the part we often miss. God was not silent because he didn't care. He was silent because he was building endurance. He was shaping faith, strengthening trust, teaching her and us to pray and not lose heart. Her waiting was not wasted. Her pain had purpose, because her story would outlive her suffering. Her persistence would become a testimony, and her silent season would teach generations how to pray when God feels far away. Maybe you are that widow right now, waiting, knocking, crying, feeling ignored. But hear this: God sees you, God hears you, and he is moving even when you cannot see it. Delay is not denial. Silence is not absence. Sometimes justice is coming quietly until suddenly it arrives all at once. So don't stop praying. Don't stop believing. Don't stop knocking. Because the same God who honored her persistence is still answering prayers today. And if this story touched something deep inside you, pause for a moment, reflect, and remember, your waiting has meaning.